Good evening, everybody. How you all doing? You okay? Welcome to a cheeky little Monday night live stream. I'm going to do the announcement of my McCartney 3 competition to win some of those goodies that I got in that surprise package from Capitol Records last week. So we will come on to that. That's the main business of the evening. We'll come on to that shortly. But I'm in a McCartney 3 mode tonight, so I'm just going to do a little, if that's all right. That'll do for that. Just needed to get that out my system, folks. Turn up your volume. Turn up your volume. I think my volume should be okay, hopefully now. Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Don't say my volume's low again. Right, I'll tell you what, I can tweak this. It should be not far off, but just give me unos momentos. And I will get this volume turned up a little bit. Don't know what it is with my computer and volume levels, but that might be a little bit better now. Let's try that. Is that okay? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Right. Okay. Hello. Yes. So I've left the prizes up here. Let me get the prizes down a second. Let's have a little reminder. What were we playing for? Some good chat beforehand, by the way. That was fun. A little bit of football, a little bit of Coronation Street unexpectedly. But anyway, what are we playing for? You may well have this already, but it can be a spare. You can give it to a friend. You could introduce somebody to McCartney 3 with this. That is a McCartney 3 CD. There is a McCartney 3 cassette. It's all sealed, by the way. None of this is used. It's all sealed and shrink wrapped. There is this bag. The mythical McCartney 3 promo dice. So in here we have got the 3 dice that have been used for the rolling competition that I'm going to come on to in a moment, and the 3 McCartney picks, plectrums, whatever you call them in your part of the world. They are there. They will all be winging the way to the winner as soon as I have their details. I know who's won, by the way. So I did the dice roll and I videoed it, and I'm going to show you that video in a moment. I then also did a video of me counting, because I didn't want to count while I was rolling because I thought it'll go wrong. So I did the count separate, like on tallies, so that I could see exactly how many it was. And then I went to all your answers and I picked out, found out who it was who got closest as per the rules that I had set. People are saying that my volume is okay. Right, okay, excellent. So, are we ready for this? Do you want to see this? I think what we'll do, I know when it gets rolled. I know at what point in this video. So, while it's rolling, you'll be able to see it. But we can just be chatting about things. So if you've got any questions, send them through. Any comments, we can talk about them. But I know when the winning thing happens, so I'll make sure we don't miss it. So if you will just, excuse me a moment. I'm going down here, down into a corner where I belong, and I'm going to start playing this video. So are you ready? Finally, a live stream that isn't Mr. Mayo. I've been enjoying his live streams lately. He's doing a lot of them. He's loving his live streams, isn't he, lately? I've joined in on a few of them as well, which has been quite fun. He's doing these ones where he gets other people on and you can just sort of drop in. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to play this video now for you. I'll just explain what the setup is. Let me just move myself over there. So on the piece of paper, this is me getting ready to make a note of how many attempts it is. So we've got the dice. Here's the dice. They're the dice I showed you in my hand a couple of minutes ago. The reason I've got my phone out and a stopwatch there is that I'm going to hit the stopwatch just purely so you can say I haven't paused this, I haven't cut any edits out. The clock will continue rolling and you will see that go as we go along. So there you go, the clock's going, so you can see I haven't edited this in any way, and we are off. So I'm making a note on that piece of paper there, 1, 2, etc. If you guessed 1 or 2 or 3, you've already not won, I'm afraid. So anyway, let's just leave that little rolling a little while, and let's see, has anybody got any comments, any questions or anything that they want to send through that we can have a chat about, like we would in any normal live stream? Oh, we're already up to about 10. For anybody who's not thought about the maths of this, if you've got 3 dice, or die, but I call them dice, I know it's not correct, and one of the 6 sides is you're trying to throw 3 of the same thing, it's 1 in 6 times 6 times 6. There's a 1 in 216 chance every time you do this that it's going to come up with the sides that you want. So just a reminder, on that dice, the 5 of the sides are the number 3, and on the 6th side it says McCartney. I'm trying to throw 3 McCartneys at the same time, and I'm up to, what's that? Well, there's a row of 25 there. I've started a new row, so we're already up to 25 on this. Anyway, plural of dice is die. Yes, crazy for Beatles, but I'm a maverick. I like to live life on the edge, and I still call them dice. The plural of vinyl is vinyl. The plural of dice is die. There you go. Sheffield and Beyond has some interesting Bob Dylan related news for anybody interested. It's all but confirmed Bootleg Volume 16 will cover the Infidels period, released May, June this year. I'm in for that, definitely. Thank you, I hadn't heard about that. We're already up to what we're up to. We're up to just over 40. I think a lot of you might be out by now. Just something worth mentioning while this is going on. Are we nearly at the end? Oh, I know where we're going to be. Has everybody seen there's a new John Lennon song come out in the last hour or so? Are we all aware of this? So it's come out on the social medias. It's from the Plasticono Band box that's coming soon, and they've released it's called It'll Be Me Jam. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get it over there. It'll Be Me Jam. It's just over a minute long. Where are we up to? Oh, we're already up to about 60. Never heard before cover from Plasticono Band sessions featuring half of the Beatles. That's John and Ringo, of course. Plus Klaus Vormann on bass, Billy Preston on piano, recorded Abbey Road on John's birthday, 9th of October 1970. So that's on his 30th birthday. Right, so how is anybody still in this competition? Is anybody, where are we up to? 50, 60, we're up to 70 now. Still haven't got it. There's a couple of times I got 2 McCartneys, but not 3 as yet. So, yeah, we're getting there. We are getting closer, I promise you. So, Izzy says, hello Izzy, what do you think to the new promo videos for McCartney 3 remixes? I heard Paul has a cameo in one. So there's the Dominic Fike cover of The Kiss of Venus, which I actually only heard in full for the first time a couple of hours ago. And I think it's nice. It's like there's about 4 or 5 different. It's almost like 4 or 5 different versions of the song in one, because each time there's a verse or a chorus, it seems to go off in different directions. It's obviously very modern sounding. I quite like it, and yeah, Paul appears in the video at the end, which is good. It suggests to me that does Paul have the New York Times delivered to his house in England, because he was clearly, that looked to me like he was sat on the south coast, looking out towards the sea, either at his home or at Hog Mill Hill Studios, but he's reading the New York Times, so I wonder if he has that delivered. I'm thinking a lot of you might be out at the moment. There is a winner. Did you have any people who had the same number? Yeah, especially in the lower ranges. Like, for example, I'll pick a number that's long gone. Let's say 26. There was about half a dozen people had guessed 26. But as you can see, we're well past that at the moment. There's 100 up. We are up to over 100 flipping throws of these die. Yeah, we're getting there. We are slowly getting there. Right. Anything coming through in the comments? I don't. Is anybody here still in this competition who guessed over 100. Not sure. Steve, your number's way off. That's a shame. A lot of people were way off. As you can tell by now, a lot of people were way off. I mean, some people guessed 1 or 2, which was very optimistic, but in theory, they were just as likely numbers to come up as anything else. A lot of people are out. I'm not sure. I don't know whether anybody here is still in. Hi Graham, did I catch a documentary on the Blitz Club last night? Did I? I don't think I did. No. What was that on? Graham, let us know. Anthony, you were out at 33. Yeah, I think most people are out now. Where are we up to? Good grief, 100, 125, 130 we're up to. Flipping heck. At this point, I was getting really frustrated at this point, so I'm thinking, how flipping long is this going to take? Well, as you can see, it had actually been sort of... we were just under 6 minutes in at this point. There was a little bit of a pause a couple of minutes ago where I went and had a sip of my tea for a minute. But other than that, you can see I'm rattling through the attempts here. I have a question, people. This is probably mainly applicable to anybody who's in the United States, but it might apply to others as well. I'm hearing that some people... I got frustrated there. I'm hearing that some people have had a notice saying that their Plastic Ono Band box delivery has been delayed and is going to be either the end of April or early May. So does that apply to anybody here? Has anybody else had that notice? A lot of people haven't, but some people, especially in the US, seem to be hearing that. So I hope that's not something that's going to be affecting worldwide, but we shall see. But yeah, let us know if you're affected by that. There's a few differing comments about the Dominic Fike Kiss of Venus. I think it is. I suppose it's a bit like. I immediately thought, you know, the modern production is a little bit like what Paul attempted on For You, and of course that divided opinion massively. So I can understand that it'll divide opinion. I'm happy to give it a chance. Someone mentioned 108. Yeah, I know. Yes, Marcus, that's right. I remember somebody did say the chances are 1 in 216, so I'll go down the middle, 108. I thought, well, at least that's approaching a theory of what to go for. But as you can see, we're well beyond that. Just to point out what the rules stated, and I said this in the rules right at the start, if nobody got the right answer, then what I would do is I would keep adding 1 to the right answer until I found somebody who got it right. And yeah. Where are we up to now? 50, 70, 100, 175. We're up to 182. Can you imagine how annoyed I was getting at this point? And those dice were really loud on that table, and it was like 100 and odd times doing that. It was a right pain. So Nathan's possibly hit the nail on the head here. I'm still answering questions, so I guess we're still nowhere near. When you see me start going, hang on a minute, I've got to concentrate on this, you probably know that we're getting near. But I know where we're at. We're doing all right at the moment. Graham, you've not had a notice from Amazon about late delivery. Okay. Has anybody else? Yeah, Plastic Ono Band, it's up to £99 on Amazon. And this is why I keep saying, I know there's some people don't want to order from Amazon. That's absolutely fine. If you can support independent music shops, brilliant. That's great. For some people, Amazon is the best choice for various reasons. But if you get your order in, if you get your pre-order in as soon as possible, then you are guaranteed with Amazon to get it at the lowest price that it's available for from the point you order it to the point it's released. So the fact that I got it at about £86, that's locked in now. If it goes up, that'll affect people who haven't ordered it yet. But I've got it locked in, so I always say it's worth putting those pre-orders in. You can always cancel them before they are dispatched if you find that you can get it somewhere else cheaper or somewhere else that you'd rather shop with. Brilliant. But you get those pre-orders in, and if the price suddenly does dip for a little while, then you've got the option of keeping that price. So yeah, I always think it's worth doing. Splatter vinyl sold out. Yeah, I know it's sold out in the UK within a couple of hours, and I think it was available elsewhere for a little while longer, but has it gone from everywhere now? I'm not sure. Is there any way you can still get the splatter vinyl of McCartney 3 Imagined from? We are just coming up to 10 minutes on the dice roll, and we're up to, what, hundreds? I'm over 225 here. I promise you we are getting there. Has anybody actually still stayed with us? Yeah, there's quite a lot of people on. That's great. Thank you very much for staying with us, even though I realise that probably just about all of you have long since departed from this competition. But, oh, dear me. Plural of fish. I don't know why that's a thing, but fishies. The Dominic Fike cover, says Mike Child, is too much like typical auto-tune contemporary chart fodder for me. Can't stand it. Fair enough. I think in terms of it potentially opening up a new audience, then it may well draw people in. Anthony, do I have a favourite Beach Boys album besides Pet Sounds? Yeah, I would say probably Surf's Up. I think is a beautiful album. Really like that one. How are we doing? We're up to over 11 minutes now, and we've gone just over 250, 255. I'm going to tell you folks, we're getting close. We might just want to just focus on this for a little while. We're getting very close now. So, I'm going to concentrate on this now, just for a little moment. We've had 250, 260 something. With what about this? Yeah. Oh, what about this one? Oh, could it be the next one? There you go. Imagine my delight when that came up. So there you go. There's the winning throw, and there's me totting it up on the piece of paper as I watched it afterwards. And there you go. 267 throws of the dice, and we got 3 McCartneys at the same time. Yeah, 267. Wow. So you're probably not going to be surprised to hear that nobody said 267. So what I did, as per the rules of the competition that I set at the start, I then looked at 268. Because I said I would keep going up by 1 until I got to winner. 268, no. 269, no. And somebody was winning until last night. There was a winning answer in that was 333, which was appropriate, 333 for all this. And then late last night, somebody came in with a guess of 325. And that's the winner, 325. And I can reveal the winner. JQ Berry, 325. I don't know if JQ Berry is here. If you are, please make yourself known, but well done. Congratulations. I will be getting in touch with you shortly. If I know a way I can get in touch with you if you see your notifications. If you don't, and you see this, send a comment, any comment to one of my old videos, and I'll get a notification and I'll find it and I'll have a chat with you there and I'll let you know how we can exchange details so I can get your prizes to you. Oh, William, you're 23 short, unlucky. But yeah, the rules said I would go up. I would keep going up until I got to it. So there we go. So well done, JQ Berry. If you are around, if not, hopefully you'll see this afterwards. We'll find a way to get in touch with you, and you will be getting those dice that you just saw rolled 267 times, the guitar plectrums / picks, depending on your country of origin, the bag, the cassette, and the CD will be winging their way towards you. Should have done Prices Right style. Yeah, I've kind of gone the opposite of Prices Right. I think on that you couldn't go over, could you? Whereas I've gone the other way. So I had to pick one way or the other, and that's the way that I went. Unfortunately, I don't know whether you would have won anyway, William. I think there was somebody closer, lower down. So I'm not sure. But yeah, there we go. So that was a bit of fun, and thank you to Capitol Records who sent me all this stuff last week, which was very kind of them. But I guess it's all good for them because they've got a few videos on McCartney 3 out there to people, haven't they, off the back of it? So I was like being a sports commentator on that. A very bad one. But yeah, that was fun. So should have been 666, the number of the beast. Right, you were 307 out, were you, Oliver? Just 307. Yeah, unlucky. Right, okay. I'm happy to stay on for a few more minutes. This isn't going to be one of my normal sort of hour plus live streams, but let's just get rid of that. But I can hang around for a few minutes if anybody wants to have a little chat. If anybody's got anything that they want to talk about, whether it's anybody got anything non-Beatles related that they want to chat about? Let's see if we can widen the topic of conversation a little bit. That would be good. But, anything Beatles related also is fine, because there's a lot happening at the moment. It's busy times in Beatles world. I have, news. Well, news, not news to you. You probably couldn't give stuff, but news to me is, for the first time ever in my life, I have pre-ordered some Ringo music. So the EP that's coming out next week, I have pre-ordered it. Did that a couple of days ago. So my current Ringo fest is continuing. So RoboTube says, can we please double check that it wasn't 79? I think we can probably safely say that was not 79 rolls of the dice. Graham's found somebody selling the George Harrison album collection for $250. That's a good price. What, the one that's behind me? Get me head out of the way. There, that one there. That's a good price. £205 I got that for, just before it started to go up. Sheffield and beyond. Andrew, top 5 sitcoms. Ooh. Well, let's lump Alan Partridge into one. He's number one. The Office. Only Fools and Horses. What else have we got? Sitcoms. Ooh. Probably Extras. That's another Ricky Gervais one. And maybe something like Phoenix Nights could be up there, potentially. Yeah. Andrew, is Paul with the NYT at Easter... Paul with the NYT... What's NYT, George? I'm not sure what that is. Paul with the NYT. An Easter egg reference to next year's box set of Sometime in New York. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, George. Let us know more information. I'm not sure what... Oh, Paul with the New York Times. Sorry, NYT. I can't imagine that Paul is doing promotion for one of John Lennon's least renowned solo albums a year in advance of a potential box set. I think he probably just wants... He likes his American things, doesn't he? And he's probably just doing that. Dan says, when are the House Martin videos coming? I'll do one of my wildly unpopular pick of my pops on the House Martins at some time, Dan. Definitely one of my favourite bands of all time. Absolute legends. Any more news on cool reissues coming out? A lot of good 30th anniversaries. Oh wow, I've not even thought about 30th anniversaries. So what, 1990? What year are we in? I've forgotten what year we're in then. 2021. So it'll be the 30th anniversary of Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and Nirvana Nevermind. And both those albums, came out on the same day as each other. What a day that must have been. I wonder if people realised at the time what an historic day that was going to be. But any more reissues? Oh, a reminder if anybody's forgotten, because I kind of forgot until I saw it on my Amazon orders page. The Bob Dylan 1970 sessions, the ones with George Harrison, is out this Friday. I know Amazon sent it to some people early, especially in Australia, but officially that's out this Friday, so I'll be looking forward to... On Friday should have Ringo and the Bob and George CDs, so that'll be good. Looking for that. We're All Water remix. I really enjoy We're All Water. I think it's just a lot of fun. I really do. Dream Wings lineup. That's a good question, Adam. Pick your favourite members. So what? This is like a This is like a mix and match. Doesn't have to be an actual Wings lineup that ever existed. Well, I think what I would do, I would start with the 76 lineup, because that was, I think, the best lineup, and then see, do I actually want to swap out any of the members from that for somebody else? So I think the only conceivable change that I would consider making, and this is no offence to Joe English because I think he was really good, but I'd maybe bring in Denny Sywell for Joe English to that 76 lineup, and that would be it. But then Joe was a really good singer, wasn't he? So you're kind of losing that from... So I don't know. I'd either go with the 76 lineup, or I might bring Denny Sywell in, because I think one thing I noticed on the Red Rose Speedway box and Wildlife box with the video content, I've never really seen Denny Sywell drum. I obviously heard him loads, but I've never really seen him. And he's just such an interesting drummer to watch. He's just got a real groove to him. So that was that was good to see. Graham Ricky Gervais Afterlife. Yeah, Afterlife was really good. I mean, it's not an out and out comedy, is it? It's pretty sad in places, but yeah, Afterlife's well worth watching. Can I do a Pink Floyd video soon, says Oliver? I might do my favourite albums, or maybe my favourite songs. I can't talk in any depth about Pink Floyd because I'm not in any way any kind of Pink Floyd aficionado, but I know what I like, so I could maybe do like a top 15, top 20 songs, something like that of Pink Floyd, potentially. Or Dire Straits On Every Street is 30 this year. Yes, what a great album that is. Beautiful sounding album as well. So You and Your Friend, before I went vinyl again, sort of 2 or 3 years ago, You and Your Friend was like the most incredible digital sounding song I had in my entire collection. Sounds absolutely amazing. But yeah, that was 91, wasn't it? And then of course you got Chris Whitten from Paul's Flowers in the Dirt era band. I don't know if he played drums on the album or not, but of course he certainly went on tour when they toured this album. But I can't remember. Did Chris actually drum on this as well? I can't remember. I'm not sure. Yeah, but yeah, that's a great album. Is that Bob Dylan Highway 61's best? That's a great album. I'm not removing Jimmy, Oliver. Don't you worry about that. I'm not removing Jimmy. He's in there. He's nailed on. Yeah, Jeff Britton was a good drummer. He just didn't fit, I think, as a person, did he? I think him and Denny Lane didn't like each other at all. They really didn't get on well. And then when the band was sort of hanging out and enjoying themselves, I think Jeff was sort of in a corner practicing his karate somewhere, wasn't he? So yeah, I don't think he didn't really seem to fit in as a person too well. Paul should have Zach Starkey in his band. Yeah, well, I mean, I think Abe's brilliant at what he does. Fantastic drummer, really good singer. Paul and Abe clearly get on very well. But if there was ever a time when Paul's still actively playing live and Abe isn't in the band, Zach would be great, wouldn't he? Yeah, that'd be fun. Joe English was playing weddings in the 80s. He was possibly officiating weddings as well, was he? He went into... Did he become a minister? He certainly went into the church, didn't he, in a big way? So, In-Betweeners. Yeah, I could have In-Betweeners in my top 5, definitely. That's a good shout. I'm going to put In-Betweeners in instead of Phoenix Nights. Yeah, there you go. Peep Show's great. It wouldn't have been my top 5, but I've seen it all. Only about 1 or 2 years ago since I watched it all. But yeah, I wouldn't have it top 5. Blackadder, yeah, it depends which series you're talking about, because it varied a little bit. Well, obviously after the first series, which I don't really rate after that, it got brilliant. Legendary. The Young Ones as well, absolutely fantastic. Zach was drumming for the Lightning Seeds in the 90s. That would have been good. What model of turntable have I bought recently? It's a Riga P3, Graham. So I did have a P1, which I had for a couple of years, and then I'll tell you when I got it, actually. It was the day of... It was McCartney 3 release day, is when I got my P3, just purely coincidentally. So yeah, that's it's a proper step up. Really good. Hi there, Jelly. Not sure how to pronounce that, but hello, you okay? IT crowd's great. Friend, Beatles friend. Have I watched Psychoville? Says Anthony. Yeah, I have. Yeah. That was really good. It was. I think Inside Number 9 is better overall, but yeah, Psychoville's fun. Cost, says Graham. Cost. I presume. Oh, my P3. Can't remember. It's a few hundred, but then I also upgraded the cartridge as well, which was another 250 quid. So yeah, it wasn't a cheap job at all. Yeah. Some reason UK got delayed until 19th of March. I'm guessing you were talking there about the Bob Dylan and George. Yeah, because some people just got it early. But officially it does not come out until this week. So, well done everybody who got it early. Emma, what, you played in Jammed with Henry McCulloch? Is that what you're saying? You did? If you did, fantastic. Lawrence Juba, most talented guitarist? Yeah, potentially. I think it's probably because I do like London Town. I've never massively got into Back to the Egg. I think maybe because they're not. Maybe because that's my least favourite era of Wings. Maybe that's why I'm not giving the credit that maybe people deserve to the people who are specific to that era. Anyway, Gerard says never could figure out how they figure out release dates. Well, I think release dates just generally seem to be all over the shop at the moment. All sorts of things are getting delayed, and I think there must be such pressure on vinyl pressing plants, especially at the moment, because isn't there something like 2 or 3 in the world or something? It is ridiculous. So just actually getting an album to be pressed has got to be a difficult thing at the moment. So there's no wonder people are making promises that they can't get delivered. Because imagine if one of them machines goes down and it's out of action for a day or two. That could be, that could be somebody's release schedule absolutely knackered. It's tea. I am English. It's tea. Would you care to sit with me for a cup of English tea? But it's in my Disneyland mug. Oh, RoboTube's got his flu jab, not your COVID jab. I got my vaccine and my jab mixed up there. Good luck with your jab. Talking of On Every Street, half-speed remasters of Brothers in Arms and the Local Hero soundtrack are out on Friday. Yeah, I might get the Brothers in Arms one. I've got Brothers in Arms on regular vinyl. Which one's this? This is, I think this is a double. Yeah, this is double vinyl. But this is at 33. I think the new one's 45 RPM, isn't it? But I've been reading about that for sort of technically. It was digitally recorded 16-bit. I don't think it's possible to get a high-res version. So I don't think you can get a high-res digital version of Brothers in Arms because it's not possible because of the way that it was recorded. But I believe Local Hero, they can. I was reading that. Who was it? Was it Miles Scholl or Paul Hicks? It was one of, I think it was one of those who was involved in the Beatles releases, was talking about the technicalities of doing those two, and essentially they were able to get better quality from the Local Hero apparently. But Brothers in Arms, in theory, should be the best it's ever sounded because of the generation of tape they've gone back to. Would you show us a McCartney 3 tune you've learned from the book? I haven't learned anything from the book yet, Kian. I just haven't had a chance. I've been way too busy. So there's only, Long-Tailed Winter Bird that I was messing around with way before the album came out. That's the only one really that I've played yet. I want to learn Pretty Boys because I think that's a really lovely riff that starts that. So Yorkshire Tea, Shaker Maker, of course. I've had to slum it with PG Tips for a little while. Long story, but I had a bag of Yorkshire Tea and I had to swap it for a bag of PG Tips. So I'm getting through them, but it's all right. It's not Yorkshire. It's not Yorkshire though. One of the few plants that makes metal master discs burnt to the ground not long ago. Yeah. There was also the factory where a lot of the master tapes for many classic albums was stored. That burnt down a year or so back as well, didn't it? So, which plastic outer sleeves do you use for vinyl? We're getting into the technical questions here. I will show you, mate. Well, I can show you the I think this should tell you. The here. Panma is what it's called. That's what it says on the package anyway. So I got about, what does it say? 12-inch vinyl record, premium quality pack of 50. It doesn't give any more detail on there. But, yeah, they're the ones that I use. Was it the Miles S interview on SDE? Yes, that is the one. That is the one I'm talking about. Happy 10th birthday to SDE, Super Deluxe Edition, 10 years old today. What a great job Paul at SDE's done building up that that website and everything to do with it. But yeah, he tweeted earlier that it's 10 years ago today set up. Do I like any of Yoko's music? I think yes. Let me just grab a couple of Yoko CDs and we'll talk about that for a second. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. So these are the ones that I have at the moment. So there's Yoko's version of Plastic Ono Band, and of course we now know a little bit more about what we're getting in the Plastic Ono Band box. So I certainly didn't realise until they'd revealed all this that what's on here all comes from that one session, like one afternoon one day. And they cut bits from it to make this album, but we're getting the whole flipping session on a Blu-ray on the Plastic Ono Band box. So I'm really looking forward to that. So of course this can be a challenge in parts, but instrumentally it's fantastic. My favourite Yoko album is that, definitely, Between My Head and the Sky. So when did this come out? Was it sort of, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, something like that? But there's some great stuff on here. There's some great. I was listening to LCD Sound System on Saturday night, and quite a bit of what was on there, I thought, oh, this instrumentally, it just sounds like this album. So things like The Sun Is Down, Between My Head and the Sky, Memory of Footsteps, which is a beautiful song on there. That is a really, really good listen. I thoroughly recommend that album. So, where did I get the great CD box set shelving behind you? I've been trying to find something similar for my new home. I've been asked this question many times, and I've given some people the wrong answer because I misremembered. But I remember now, I got all that from Argos. I bought them in sort of separate times to each other. Luckily, they were always still in stock. I don't think they sell it anymore, unfortunately. So it's a case of just, if you want something that looks like that, trying to find something as close as you can get, but I don't think Argos do that anymore. So, what else? Anthony wonders what the Oasis Nebworth release will be. We've not heard much more. All I really know is that they've been putting messages out, haven't they, on social media, asking people for their memories of the day, which I might send them something at some point if I'm not too late, of my memories of being at Nebworth for the second day of Oasis there. I've not heard any news about what it is. Are they going? Presumably there's got to be, well, I say presumably, I don't know what to presume. I hope there's some official release of a full concert because it's well overdue. Yeah, no, it's not IKEA, Sheffield and Beyond. It is Argos. Any news on the release of Peter Jackson's Get Back? I've not heard anything new. I mean, hopefully, this is how I hope it goes, but this doesn't mean I know anything. So is it August 27th, I think, that it's now scheduled for cinema release? Hopefully, in many places around the world, cinemas will be back up and running. Many people will feel that they're safe to go. I certainly want to hope I've had the old jabs by then, and I hope I'll be able to go and see it. I expect it will be very soon after that on Disney streaming. I don't think it's going to get much of a run at the cinema. It might be one of these where it's out for a couple of days or something. And what I really, really hope that as a knock-on effect of this, because they'll have some momentum built up, I would love to hope that they've also in the background been working on cleaning up Anthology. And especially even just things like all the titles at the bottom that look really old-fashioned now, and you can see all the individual lines of data. It's like a fax machine printout is all the titles at the bottom. It looks really old now. But if they can actually go to the film and just recreate those titles new in HD, get that out. Whether it's on Disney streaming, if it has to be, or if it can be on Netflix or Amazon, get that out, because if you've built up some momentum for watching the Beatles on video, get the anthology out. What else are they doing with it? So, yeah, that's what I hope happens. I hope we have physical releases. I'm interested to see what they do with the original Let It Be film, because you may remember that when it was all originally announced, they said that the original Michael Lindsay Hogg Let It Be film will be, I think, what was the wording? It said something like, will be available. Now, they didn't give any detail about how it's going to be available. Does that mean it's available to go and watch at the cinema? Does it mean it's available to stream on telly? Is it going to be available to buy on a DVD or a Blu-ray? They haven't told us what way it's available. So I really hope we've got a way of, ideally buying it so you can watch it at your leisure. But I'd love to go and see Let It Be as well in the cinema. I don't think that's going to happen, but at least I hope it's available to buy. I hope, I might be hoping for too much here, I hope there's a standalone rooftop concert release, maybe on vinyl. There was all sorts of suggestions that they were lining up an original Glyn Johns mix for release. Now that's interesting in terms of how they do that, because I don't know how much you know about it. Or I did a really in-depth series of Let It Be and Get Back Sessions videos about a year ago, which if anybody's not seen, you're welcome to try and seek out, where I really went in depth on the sessions, and I was looking at the Glyn Johns mixes and each individual mix that he did, because he created 4 mixes before he was eventually kicked off the project and Phil Spector brought in. But if they're going to release a Glyn Johns mix of the album, of the Get Back album, which is rumoured, it's really interesting which one they're going to pick, because the only one that was ever really sort of seriously scheduled to be released was, I think it was mix 3, and it's before I Me Mine was a part of the film. When they knew it was going to be in the movie, that's when they then had to go and record the song to get it onto the final album, but it's before then. So I think there's only one George song, probably For You Blue, I would imagine, that's on that mix. So is, for example, those representing George, Olivia, Danny, whoever it is who's doing that, are they going to want that because, whoa, there's only one George song on here? Are they going to go to the mix 4? But that was never ever seriously in contention to be released, so I don't know whether they'll go for that. So I just worry that, I'd say worry is a bit of an exaggeration, but I hope that they don't sort of create some phantom Glyn Johns mix that's like a best of Glyn Johns mixes, because that's something that wouldn't have existed before. So I hope, ideally it would be mix 3, but I just can't see George's camp sanctioning it. And we all know the thing with the Beatles releases is they're just so democratic that you've got to get past 4 big egos or camps of egos to get anything agreed. Whereas, Sean Lennon can put whatever he wants on a John Lennon box now, with him being in control of it, but it's not that easy to shout for John's Corner in a Beatles release. So we will see. Sorry, did I waffle on a bit long there? I don't know, but yeah, I haven't got Disney Plus yet, but I'm gonna have to get it, aren't I? I've got to get it when this comes out. If it's not available to buy at the start, I'll get it. Plus as well, I think I'll probably want it. There's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus that I really would like to see anyway, and I've got a good excuse. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but I'm going to be a granddad this summer, so that if that's not a good reason to get Disney Plus access, I don't know what is. So yeah, I'm going to get Disney Plus, so I'll be able to watch it, whatever. But I really hope that it's available to buy pretty quickly. Oh, we've got some Liverpool news coming in. What's going on? Offside. Is it still 1-0? Could somebody please tell me? Is it still 1-0? I would like to know. A few of you were asking me for detail of how to get the high-res stuff off Blu-rays. So things like, my camera's not going up high enough, but you know, like the Imagine boxes, Give Me Some Truth boxes, and all the Beatles boxes from recent years. Thank you, thank you very much. How to get the Blu-ray high-res 5.1 mixers and all that. I have recorded a video on how to do that, which includes exactly what software you need, what hardware you need, what buttons you need to press on the software. I've recorded it. I haven't edited it yet, but as soon as I do, I'll get that video out there. So, yeah, still 1-0. Okay, good. There can't be too long left now, can there? I don't know. I don't look a day over 30. Really? I mean, thank you very much, Nathan, but that tells me that this webcam is really poor quality. If it's or I must have some amazing filter on that I didn't know about. Hello, David. You are excused for being late. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't need a note. Right, anybody got anything else that they want to discuss while we are here? Otherwise, I won't be here much longer. So let me know shortly. Blu-ray hi-fi system, says Graham. Yeah, I think attaching a Blu-ray system to your hi-fi is all well and good. It's great. But you can't get the full benefit unless you've also got a TV, because the thing with the Blu-ray is it's all driven by visual menus. You might be lucky in some of them it might autoplay the album, like the main album, but to get into, you know, you got to go through 3 menu screens to get to the 5.1 mix or whatever. If you ain't got a telly hooked up, that's no good. So yeah, this video that I'm going to cover is how you can rip, like you would rip a CD. You'd put a CD into a CD drive and rip that onto your computer. I'm going to show you how you can do the same with Blu-ray to get the high res, your 5.1 surround mixers, if that's what you're into, and all that. You can get all of that lossless, no loss of quality, onto your computer, onto your music server, however you use your digital music. Crazy for Beatles. Sorry, I think you've asked this question before and I missed it. Any non-English language bands you like? There's a lot of non-English songs that I like and have always liked, but I don't think there's any particular bands that I follow that I would say are non-English. I don't think. Which is probably very narrow-minded of me. But, you know, you gravitate towards what you're exposed to, don't you? And there's a lot of songs I could say non-English that are fine, but yeah, nobody that I've really, I'm going to follow that person. Yeah. What else have we got? Will the All Things Must Pass announcement come before the Plasticono band release? That is a very good question. From what I'm sensing, it sounds like it'll be close, potentially. If Plasticono band is getting delayed by a little bit, as we've suggested, it's possible might be happening. That might mean that if they can hold firm on the All Things Must Pass announcement date, maybe that might swing it in that favour. But yeah, we will see whether. I think it's going to be close, to be honest. Goodbye, Adam. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Yeah. Cool. Have I heard of Two Legs Paul McCartney podcast? Yes. I've probably not listened to masses of it because there's just too much to take in sometimes. But yes, I definitely have heard some of that. Blu-ray 5.1 surround sound of Abbey Road sounds like a completely different album. I bet it does. I've never really done a 5.1 album. I've got a friend who's got a 5.1 system, and just over a year ago we'd arranged a night where I was going to take my discs round to his house and we were going to do it all. And then of course lockdown, not been able to get near anywhere since. But I would like to have a 5.1 system at some point fairly soon. That would be good. What telly do you have? What DVD, Blu-ray player? Well, in here, this isn't my main. I've got a TV screen in front of me. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me just get my webcam. That's getting close. Let me just turn this round. So I've got my telly there. Look, you can see there you all are. There you all are. So that's where I can see you. That's what I'm looking at here. So I've got. I mean, this is just a normal 32-inch telly. smart TV. So nothing amazing there, but I've got a 60-inch TV downstairs, which is nice. But anyway, what was the question? What was the question again? I can't remember. What telly do you have? This is just a Toshiba telly. Blu-ray player. I've got a Blu-ray player down underneath here. That's a Sony. It's just a regular Sony Blu-ray player, but that goes into my Roxanne K3 DAC. Which sounds yeah. I really like my music setup that I've got in here now. Yeah, if I do move out of this room, which I think I mentioned should be happening, and I'm moving closer to getting out of this room and into something a lot bigger. I want to put a subwoofer into my system as well, because that could be. Ooh. What's my favourite Beatles solo podcast? Well, I think I've got 3 really. So there is the. First of all, I've got to mention the Take It Away podcast, just because that was obviously the two guys who run that, and obviously it was really sad when one of the guys. And apologies, I can't remember names off the top of my head now. One of the guys died just before McCartney 3 came out, which was really sad. They did great podcasts on Paul McCartney, the Take It Away podcast. So thoroughly recommend that. I think they're all still available online. I Am the Egg Pod is really good. Really enjoy that. All sorts of different Beatles related subjects with great guests. And Paul or Nothing is great. So Sam, who runs that, that's the one that some of you know I was thrilled to be a guest on a few weeks ago, which was great fun, where we talked about the Paul McCartney Put It There documentary for 4 hours. We talked about that. So they're probably my main 3. How many more years can they be doing Beatles releases? How many more years will money be exchanged for musical products? I think the 2 will be equal. They're always going to find a new way, but of course the audience is going to get smaller, isn't it? And they're going to have to think of new ways, which of course they're doing now. Remixes, that's the new way to do it. High res, that's so. They'll always find a way, though. It's fun to try and identify your collection from the spines. I guess, yeah, some are going to be easier than others, aren't they? Yeah, I've got some friends from work where we often do a Friday night live thing like this, where we'll just be on for hours and hours. But they've got a game that they like to play with me on camera, where what I will do is I will just pick a CD at random, completely at random, like I just have done here, and then I start off with it back here, and it's first person to say what the CD is, and they can play that game for ages. I get bored of it long before they do. So let's play it here. What's this? Anybody know what this is yet? Of course, you're about 30 seconds behind me, so you might be typing away. And that is Oasis Falling Down CD single. That was completely at random. More filing to do later on once we've done, but yeah. Anthony says, any chance of me going back on Paul or Nothing? Sam certainly asked me, and I am up for it. Oh, bye Kian, cheers mate, thank you very much. Any chance of me going back on Paul or Nothing? If we can find a subject that I feel that he wants to talk about and I feel comfortable talking about, then yeah, let's get it on. I did listen last week to the John Heaton one that he's done. So he's done an episode with John Heaton, who of course many of you will know, and it's all about the James Paul McCartney TV special from 1973. And again, they do like 3 or 4 hours on it, and it was brilliant. And I had 2 thoughts as I was listening to it. Actually 3 thoughts. My first thought was, I cannot think of a single subject in which I can talk more authoritatively, if that's a word, than John Heaton can. I just thought, I was just bowing before the master listening to this. My second thought was, I wish I'd done this episode, because I had loads that I wanted to talk about on it. But then coupled with that, it was, yeah, but if I'd done it, it means that John wouldn't have done, and I wouldn't be able to listen to what he's doing. So it was kind of mixed emotions there. So yeah, that's well worth checking out, the Paul or Nothing John Heaton James Paul McCartney podcast. Really good. Graham Coxon. It's a shame. Graham Coxon is one of my musical heroes. Absolutely, he was just. I like him more than I like Blur in many ways. Really good. Right. So, Oliver's insisting that Paul is not dead, which of course is true. I hope somebody else hasn't been here saying that he is, because I don't entertain that nonsense at all. So has somebody been saying something? I've just missed some comments. Yeah, Ryan. I apologise that I couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. It was Ryan from the Take It Away podcast. That was really, really sad. 34 years old. But thankfully his podcasts are all there for people to remember him by, and I would definitely recommend doing a Google search of Take It Away podcast if you haven't done already. Yeah, and I know he'd heard about McCartney 3, and I'm pretty sure there was something out there where he was excited, looking forward to it, and yeah, tragic, absolutely tragic. Anyway, let's get on to happier subjects than that. We've got Mirror Image here. How are you doing? Been having some good chats with you lately on Joe's channel. That's good. Good to see you. Which George album, says Andrew, do I want to see getting the deluxe treatment after All Things Must Pass? Well, ideally, I want them all. Hang on though. Having said that, would I pay out money for two particular George Harrison? Would I pay out for Extra Texture and Dark Horse? I'm not a fan particularly. I don't know, but Concert for Bangladesh. In theory, if they were going to do a 50th anniversary, should be back end of this year, but I don't hold out any hope for that. I can imagine it being like Paul and his concert for Kampuchea and all the legal issues that have ensued in trying to get that released. You can imagine that's got to be a nightmare, releasing something that's got all those different people on it doing live performances. So I'd love to investigate the concert for Bangladesh over and above me just buying a CD that's out now of it. But living in the material world, that's got to be worthy of something, hasn't it? Surely. Yeah. Dark Horse didn't chart in the UK. Yeah. I'll tell you what else didn't chart in the UK. I mean, a lot of you will know this anyway, but I didn't until recently. When it was first released, this album that I'm about to show did not chart in the UK. It was only afterwards, when the following album was successful and they re-released this, that got in the charts. Hunky Dory by David Bowie did not chart in the UK. Look at this track list. Changes, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, Kooks, Queen Bitch, The Bewley Brothers. Absolutely ridiculous that did not chart. But there you go. I'll file that in my time, not on yours. Later on. The best song on Extra Texture. This is interestingly. You, absolutely. I mean, it's about the only happy song on there, isn't it? I didn't know. Is that from the All Things Must Pass sessions? I didn't know that, if that's true. Andrew, can I rank the members of the Travelling Wilburys? I'm really glad that this isn't a Jonathan Ross live stream. You know what I'm saying? Can I rank the members of the Travelling Wilburys? So, yeah. Well, it's got to. I've got to have George at the top, and then I've got to have Bob next. I mean, Bob, in many ways would be above George, but you know, it's George Harrison. He's a Beatle. It was his band. He started the band, so we'll have George. Then we'll have Bob. Then I'm gonna have. I'm gonna go Tom Petty next. Yeah, I'll go Tom Petty. And then I don't want this to sound like whoever comes fifth is, you know, been dissed here, because they're not. They're all five are great. I'm gonna go for Roy Orbison next, just because some of those vocals that he brought to some of the songs on the first album were awesome. And no offense at all to Jeff Lynne, because I really like Jeff Lynne. He was great, brilliant. But I'm gonna put Jeff Lynne in fifth place. So yeah, there you go. Honestly, Andrew, Apple do what they want with the music. I would like if they mirrored the artwork to HD. Okay. I've not quite processed that comment in my head yet. If I do, I will come back to it. Did the Travelling Wilburys have a top 40 hit in the UK? They didn't in the US. I don't know. Shall I Google it? I can Google it live if you want. I'm gonna guess maybe Handle with Care maybe did. Let's have a look. Travelling Wilburys Wikipedia. Let's have a look. Discography. Well, I certainly don't see anything with chart performance. Studio albums, box singles. Here you go. Handle with Care. Got to number 3 in Australia, number 2 in Canada. Where did it get to? It got to number 21 in the UK and number 45 in the US. So, Travelling Wilburys did not have a top 40 in the US. End of the Line got to number 52. I mean, that's just criminal, isn't it, really? Such great songs. Heading for the Light didn't charge. Heading for the Light is just one of the most gloriously happy songs you are ever going to hear. It's fantastic. Poor Jeff Lynne. I'm sorry, Shaker Maker. That is not a diss. I mean, it's like there are 5 legends, but somebody's got to come 5th. Jeff Lynne is a better producer. Yeah, maybe so. I don't think. I just think that what the others brought in terms of maybe the singing style, George's guitar style, etc., is a bit more distinctive. I don't think Jeff Lynne's presence on the production is probably very noticeable, but on the music side, it's not as noticeable, I don't think, as what the other 4 brought. That's why I'm doing that. So, there you go. Hi, Paul from France. Do I think the Beatles song Carnival of Light is ever going to be released? Here's me saying I'm not going to be on for an hour. Flipping heck, I've been on an hour. How did that happen? Do I think the Beatles song Carnival of Light is ever going to be released? Well, the big chance was 2017, wasn't it, for the 50th anniversary? I think eventually everything will be released, and I think once the Beatles, the control of the Beatles is out of the hands of maybe the immediate family, because there's going to come a point where they're just going to, it's not going to, Paul and Ringo aren't going to be around, and I hope it's a long way off, and maybe the families, maybe they want to hand it over to a company, and at that point probably everything's on the table, and every single bit of it might be available on like a subscription. Maybe you could pay a subscription and you've got access to an online archive that's got absolutely everything. They may well do that, and yeah, I think eventually it will come, but I think 2017 was the big chance for it to come short term. I think it's now a long way off again. There you go. Handle with Care is a brilliant song, absolutely, Ruby, definitely. Do I like Elvis? Says Anthony. Yeah, I like Elvis. I didn't for a long time. It took me a long time. Like I didn't like Frank Sinatra for a long time. I didn't even like David Bowie for a long time. And, you know, I eventually come round to these things. And, yeah, I like Elvis. I've got a couple of Elvis CDs, and that'll do me. But, yeah, obviously I appreciate everything that he did. I like early Elvis the best. Did you think... What was this? Paul says, did you think to show your set up to hear the different records? So I'm not sure what you mean there, Paul. You might need to explain that one to me a bit more. According to Mark Lewison, Carnival of Light is terrible, 24 minutes in length. I'm sure it is terrible, but it'd be fascinating, wouldn't it? Just to, you know, switch the lights off and just, you know, relax and float downstream and just listen to 24 minutes of awful nonsense. It would be great to hear it. It really would. And apparently Elton John was going to be in the Wilburys. That would have been different. A little bit more keyboard based. I'll tell you something I didn't realise till the other day. My friend Ben, I don't know if Ben's on at all, but he told me the other day that he was listening to The Scaffold, Lily the Pink. So we're having a bit of a chat about that, and I Wikipedia'd it. We were talking on video, and I Wikipedia'd it like I did Travelling Wilburys. Lily the Pink by Scaffold, of course, Mike McCartney, Paul's brother. On backing vocals on that song, Elton John. You know, before he was famous and he was a struggling session musician. And Jack Bruce from Cream is on bass. So that was a couple of things I didn't know about Lily the Pink until a few days ago. Oh, Gerard, this football game's ridiculously long. Is it not finished yet? Keep me informed, please. I do want to know how that goes. I'm hoping that Liverpool can hang on for a rare win. Good point. Have I made a good point, David? That's a first. I'm gonna have to look back and see what that was. As I think if George was alive, he wouldn't want what he saw as poor outtakes released. Yeah, and maybe the likes of Olivia and that are just sort of following his wishes expressly. We will see. But yeah, once it's in the hands of, let's say for example, if 30 years down the line Sony have sole control of what gets put out, they're not going to hang on to this stuff. They're going to get it all out there, and they're probably going to make it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a subscription-based thing. Has anybody done that? Has anybody done like a subscription thing where they've opened up their archives to people who are paying them money every month for it? I'm not quite sure. We will see. Let me know if anybody has. Yeah, Two Virgins isn't great, is it, David? I think that's a question of John's three. Yeah, it was three of John's 3 albums that he did before Plastic Ono Band. How would you rank those? Is the one that you can actually say, oh yeah, that one's clearly better than those other 2? I don't know. They're all difficult. Neil Young, has Neil Young opened up his archives that way? He's the kind of person who'd do that, isn't he? He's very progressive, isn't he, old Neil? Final score: Liverpool have won. My goodness me, that's a rarity. Where's your prize rate? Did you even enter? I don't even know if you entered, but you haven't won anyway. I can tell you that much for definite. Springsteen, is he subscription based as well? I don't know. You can subscribe to Neil Young. Yeah, I think that's going to be the kind of thing, isn't it? If they can see some regular money coming in for that kind of thing, then yeah, there we go. Hello from Spain, FJR. What's the current relationship between Paul and Denny? I don't know. I know they had some fallouts over the years, but then more recently they've been photographed together, haven't they? So I'm not sure. I'm not aware that there's been any. I think the friends out there. I'm sure. I don't know. Denny's been involved. We've had quotes from Denny on the archives, so I guess they're okay with each other. A Prince archive, yeah, I could imagine that. I mean, he must have so much in his archives that could be released. That would be ridiculous. An awful lot. Ray, you didn't understand rules again. Seriously, Ray, I could not make that any easier. It was literally type a number. That it cannot be any easier. Right. Ooh, head injury to the Wolves goalie. That's not good. Hope he's okay. Yeah, okay. I am. Shaker Maker, Manic Street Preachers. I'll tell you what. One album that I go back to probably more than almost any other for a regular listen is Everything Must Go by Manic Street Preachers. Absolutely fantastic album. That's my favourite album of theirs, definitely. Andrew, you should support a Yorkshire team. Well, right. I'm gonna tell you here. So I am a Hull City fan. I have been since 1978 when I was very young. They are my team, Hull City, in here. At the time, on the telly, there was that telly team. They don't exist in real life. They're just on the telly. Terry McDermott, Kenny Dalglish, etc. So I'd watch them on the telly. Hull City and Liverpool were never, ever, ever supposed to meet. They were completely opposite ends of the spectrum. So Hull City, season ticket holder for years, been to see him hundreds of times, and then there's that team on the telly. And then Hull got good for a little while, and we ended up in the Premier League, and the two were against each other. And I can honestly say that whenever Hull play Liverpool, I am 100% Hull City and 0% Liverpool. That is always the way that is. That's a little bit of my history. I am, for anybody who asks, yes, I live in Leeds. I am not a Leeds United fan. Probably much to Shaker Maker's disgust, but there you go. And yes. So, Liverpool now 5 points behind Chelsea. They might have to win the Champions League to get back in it, potentially. We'll see. Right, Jimmy Bullard. We don't talk about Jimmy Bullard because he's not well remembered. I mean, it was obviously fun for a little while, and then it all went a bit sour. So there you go, folks. Last questions, because I am probably wrapping up shortly. So if anybody's got anything stunningly amazing to ask or say, you might want to get it in very, very quickly, because I'm very nearly done. I've got I've amassed lots of filing of vinyl and CDs, and I've got to get it all back before I go to bed. Otherwise, I'm going to be late to bed. So, are there any bands from Leeds? Says Ray. Well, Kaiser Chiefs are my favourite Leeds band. You see, Leeds doesn't have. I mean, obviously there's been good stuff come from Leeds, but I don't think for a city this size, I don't think it's done itself justice. You know, Leeds likes to compare itself to Manchester in certain ways, but you know, it's not even in the same universe musically, for example. Yeah, there you go. Sealed Deck. Hi, Andrew. I'm a 14-year-old from Holland. Hello to Holland. Good to have a good young Beatles fan. It's always good to get the young Beatles fans coming through. This is why whenever there's like a cover version of a Beatles song, or like, for example, Dominic Fike doing Kiss of Venus, and we might not all like it, but I always think, you know, somewhere there's going to be a fan of that popular artist who hears it, and there's going to be a very small percentage of them who actually somehow learn about Paul McCartney or learn about the Beatles or learn about John Lennon from that, and they're going to get into it. And I think that can only ever be a good thing. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, cheers, Shaker Maker. I hope it wasn't me declaring myself as a Hull City fan that's forcing you out. Right. Thank you, Sheffield and Beyond. Yeah, great community. Thank you. Everybody here is great, and it is great, because I go on some live streams where there's some right idiots, but it's pretty much bang on. You are all top contributors and people on these things, and I really do appreciate that. I really do. Did I like the film yesterday? Says Raymond. I did, and again, that goes back to exactly that point I've just made. Some people I know have said they refused to watch it. Some people have said they hated it. If you've watched it and you hate it, fair enough. If you've not watched it and you hate it, I'm not really interested in hearing that, to be honest. But again, there will be some people, and it'll be a small number, but there will be some people who've seen that, who didn't know about the Beatles, didn't follow them, and now do. And how can that be a bad thing? And the whole idea of the film, it's not a serious what if the Beatles never existed film. It's like a light-hearted, it's almost sci-fi. I think it's a very difficult thing to get serious about. It's a light-hearted film that will have got some people into the Beatles, and I think that can only be a good thing. Cheers, Harry Dance. Off you go. I think a few people. I think I'm probably about outstaying my welcome now, possibly. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm going to say well done to, let's just get this back up here, JQ Berry. I will find a way to get in touch with you to let you know that well done, you have won, because it was 267 damn throws of those dice before I got 3 McCartneys, which was almost 12 minutes it took. I will get in touch with JQ Berry, and thank you for watching. It's been another good fun session, and I'm going to see you all very soon. I'm checking out now. I'll see you later all. Bye-bye. See you later.